What's going on, people? It's your boy John, coming at you from the house. I'm going to try this format more often, to be honest, because I like just sitting down with a cup of coffee. As you can see, it says King of the Castle, but it's reversed in the image. I just like to sit down and relax, stay at home. You know, it's less hectic when I'm in the forest and I'm walking and I'm turning. I've watched a few of the videos. I'm turning, I'm going over here, the camera's shaking. It's like, it's a bit chaotic. It's a bit difficult to get my ideas out, and I'm more or less rambling, and I'm just coming off the top of my head in terms of topics and ideas and things I'm talking about. Largely those type of videos are unstructured. So these type of videos, I haven't even come up with a plan for this one either, but these type of videos, if I'm going to do them more often, I will actually come up with a list of ideas and stuff to talk about in the video, so that the video is a bit more structured, so that I know what I'm talking about and I've got a point to the video, because a lot of the times I have a point but I go off tangents. So that's something I'm going to be working on. But anyway, let's go into the topic of the video. I was watching a video by a YouTuber whose name I have forgotten. No, I haven't. Elisha Long, that's it. Elisha Long's video. And he called it righteous bodybuilding. And I found that term very endearing, in the sense of, wow. You know, it was almost like it was a synchronicity for me, because the reason I chose, and can I even say it was a choice, I don't know, to go on the fitness journey, the calisthenics, the running, the diet, and then of course when the gyms reopened, the bodybuilding. Even when the gyms were closed, even before the gyms had been closed, I was going to the gym. But when I was going to the gym then, I was going dedicated. I was going with dedication, so I was going 3 times a week. But I'd skip sometimes. And it was more or less something that I would do to get rid of the pressure or the anxiety or any personal problems that I was going through. I was going to the gym to alleviate that. Okay, so it was more of a mood booster, which was fine. But if I'm honest with you, there wasn't any deeper layer behind it. There was self-improvement, 100%. I was going to the gym to self-improve, to build muscles. And towards the end of, so just before the gyms closed, I remember challenging myself, really, you know, taking it to the extreme, like pushing myself. But I wasn't doing any compound lifts. I was only doing one, and that was the bench. I wasn't doing the deadlift. I wasn't doing the squat. Wasn't doing the bent over row. Wasn't doing the military press. I wasn't doing any of that. I was sticking to machines, and I think that was because I was afraid back then. I was in a state of fear. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know why I was in the gym. I was in the gym to self-improve, but I didn't really know why I was there. But then I remember it hitting me when I was doing, either it was the bench, or I think it was the bench, where I realised that I had stagnated on my weights, had stagnated on my push, and I was only hitting 15 kg every time I was in the gym. I was hitting 15, 15, 15, and I remember putting a 20 on, so 20 on either side, 20 kg on either side, and that's in total, I think that's 60 kg plus the bar. And I remember I couldn't even do one rep, or I could barely do one rep, and I realized I can do more than one rep. I can do more than one rep. I'm afraid to do more than one rep, because I'm afraid that I might drop the weight. I'm afraid that I'm going to embarrass myself. I'm afraid that all of these things are going to happen. So when I did the one rep, I did another 2, and then I went to 3. I think I managed to go up to even 4, and then I put the weight down, and I felt very good about myself. I felt very proud, because I didn't think I could hit that weight, but I did. So that's when I realized that you go to the gym to conquer yourself. You go to the gym to conquer your mind. I was watching a video by Osho yesterday, and he said that the mind is a coward. Naturally is a coward, and it's afraid of everything. It's afraid of anything that could go wrong, anything that can go right. It creates fear around every corner. And the mind has to be that way, because it's designed for survival. Survival, by definition, means running away from danger. So the mind is a coward and will create problems. Do not mistake the mind's cowardice for who you are. Because the thing that makes you you, the awareness, the consciousness, the spirit behind all of that, has the power to transcend the mind's limitations, the mind's abstractions. And the gym is a place where I learned that, and I'm continuing to learn that every single day. Today I'm going to be doing squats, and I'm increasing the weight now to 15 kg, whereas before I was only able to hit, I think, 12.5 in total. Pretty pathetic, but it's about building yourself up. So today I'm going to hit 15, and I'm going to make sure I do 5 reps, 5 sets, 5 sets of 5 reps. I'm going to make sure I conquer that. So then next time I go there, I'm able to do 8 reps, 7 reps, 6 reps. Then increase the weight. Go straight up to 15, go straight up to 20. And then just keep going. Because you learn to conquer yourself. And more importantly, you exercise a righteous spirit. Because the righteous spirit does what is right, not what is nice, not what feels good. Not what feels good in the moment, or what's comfortable. The righteous spirit does what needs to be done. And the gym is where you exercise that part of your spirit. It's what you do when you go to the gym. You practice that strength, building that strength and cultivating that strength in your own spirit. And Elisha Long, basically summarized my entire views on the gym, which is this righteous bodybuilding thing. You're doing it so you can cultivate a spirit of strength, so that you can become a pillar of strength in your community, in your family, in your relationships. Yeah, and he used the example of the golden age, the golden era of bodybuilding, where you saw, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Frank Zane, Vince Girola. Is it Girola or Giroda? I always forget. You had all of these, these bodybuilders back in the old days, these golden age bodybuilders, and when they were bodybuilding, they were building each other up. There was a community, a cult, if anything, of strength, okay? Where every man was building another man up so that they could push themselves to the absolute limit before they break, and then they'd take it back up and do it again. It was a complete positive masculine environment. You don't see that in the gym today, do you? You see negative masculinity in the gym today. It's more like negative. I wouldn't use the word toxic. I don't like the word toxic masculinity. That's a word used by feminists to demonize any type of masculinity. But I would say that the type of behavior that goes on in the gym today is negative masculinity. Everyone's got an ego. Everyone's trying to size each other up. Everyone's trying to compare. It's like this narcissism. Everyone's trying to outcompete everyone else. And, competition is good, yes, but you need to build a culture of strength. Because that's how men grow. We're tribal creatures. We grow when we have a community that builds us up. A community of brothers who build each other up and then go off to war. Okay, bodybuilding is essentially training for war. You're breaking your body down, putting yourself through excruciating amount of pain. And the aesthetic changes are just as a result of what you're doing, but really what you're doing is testing your will and training your discipline. You're training your discipline and you are cultivating strength. And that's what makes you a righteous bodybuilder, a spiritual bodybuilder, if anything. I like that word. Elisha Long used the word righteous bodybuilding. I'll use the word spiritual bodybuilding, metaphysical bodybuilding. Because you're not just cultivating the physical strength, these guns. You're cultivating the spiritual strength. And we need that. Elisha Long pointed out again. This video is directly inspired by Elisha Long, so shout out to Elisha Long. But we're going to need these type of men and this type of behavior because, as I'm sure you're all aware, manhood and masculinity has entered a massive period of decline. If you've ever read the book by Robert Moore, he says that there's the king archetype at the top. So there's a triangle and the king's at the top. But when men are unable to access the king within, they fall into the shadow polarities. So they either fall into the weak king or the weakling, and the tyrant. Okay? But the tyrant and the weakling are both on the same continuum. So if you scratch a tyrant, you'll find a weakling, and if you push a weakling, you'll find the tyrant. So they're essentially the same thing, the same person, pretending to be the other. Both have that inner fear. Both are characterized by that fear. And we find that in today's society, that that's exactly what's happened. Men have either turned into toxic masculinity, where, it's very bravado, macho, getting out there in other people's faces, trying to size each other up and ego. That's the tyrant. The tyrant is fearful. Fearful of humanity, fearful of masculinity itself, fearful of femininity. So it tries to dominate everything. Not through will, not through, that's not the right word, not through a broader purpose, but simply because it wants to prove to itself that it's worthy. And then you've got the weaklings, the cowards, the simps, or the beta males. I'm just using that word because I know a lot of you will find resonance with it, but not even necessarily them. A beta male can be a tyrant, just as an alpha. Well, no, I would say that the alpha in terms of philosophical outlook is the king archetype. It's why every man looks up to the alpha, because the alpha represents the king within, all of us. Yeah, it's not just him. He's accessed that dimension of power. So we look up to the alpha because we see that within him, and we want to access that ourselves. So we feel that by following this leader, by following this man, by embarking in his own energy, or by getting in his energy, we will become more like him. And 99% of the times, if you're doing that, you are wanting to build yourself up as well as others around you. Okay, but even tyrants and weaklings are attracted to the alpha or the king, because all men are. So our job as men today is to cultivate that king. I'm going to say that in every video now. It's to cultivate the king energy, the king archetype, and to release the king from within. Because that is going to be the answer of how we raise this society that's gone into weakness back into strength. And Elisha Long brought up another point, which was, a society is weak when it starts to celebrate ugliness. Because ugliness is weakness, or evil even. Strength is beauty and good. And if you really look at today's society, you'll find that popular culture, media and everything tends to celebrate the ugly, the evil, the degenerate, the bad. It just goes all the way down to a degeneracy. And when we use the word degeneracy, that's exactly what we mean. We mean that there's high culture and there's evolution of it, and a cultivation of strength and beauty. And then there's a degeneracy that happens where you go the other way, where rather than going towards the righteous path, you go towards the unrighteous path, the path of temptation, the path of evil. And we see that today. So righteous bodybuilding, or spiritual bodybuilding, is the answer, because you need to be that rock. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.